Hello, wine lovers. Welcome to another episode of Our Poor Decisions.
And today's episode is totally different. We're inviting you guys on a road trip to New Jersey with us.
We are going to one of Wine Spectator's Grand Award winning restaurants.
Can you explain what that is again?
So Wine Spectator issues a list of the restaurants that they deem to have the best wine lists in the world. And there are 3 levels of awards they get. There's the Award of Excellence, and there are about 2,100 restaurants that qualify for that. There's the Best of Award of Excellence, and that's another 1,500 restaurants. And then there's the Grand Award. And there are only 96 restaurants that received that award last year.
In the Grand Awards, those are typically the big name Michelin star restaurants, right?
Exactly.
And they're super pricey.
Almost always be. But here's the thing. There are exceptions. And a couple of years ago, I went to a former Grand Award winning restaurant in Vossevanger, Norway, called LSA. And they have this absolutely spectacular wine list, and they sell their wines at or below retail. It's really crazy.
And we'll put their amazing wine list in the description below.
And so now we're making a long trek up to New Jersey to visit another restaurant that I think is, well, pretty impressive. And they sell their wines at really reasonable prices.
Well, come along on this adventure with us to see what we find that could possibly warrant 9 hours in the car with my dad.
Hey.
And Jeff. So Jeff, Pops, and I started our drive to New Jersey because there's no way to stop a determined Pops. Of course, he'd already spent hours poring over the wine list and circled in on a few gems. We also had a chance to talk to Sean Price, the Pluckemin Inn's exceptional sommelier, who we were all excited to meet in person. And after a good night's sleep, we were all geared up to learn what this Grand Award winner was all about. And how in the world did they have 50,000 bottles of wine? Right now, we're outside the front door of the Pluckemin Inn.
We're about to experience one of the greatest sellers in the restaurant world.
And we're inviting you along with us. Come on.
Gee, that's not the entrance. Follow me.
What, is it like a fake door?
Exactly. My name is Sean Price. I'm the sommelier here at the Pluckemin Inn. Welcome to our cellar tour.
There were so many questions floating around in my brain. But first, we needed to learn more about the person behind this incredible collection of wine. So Sean, you have been in the wine business. You've been a sommelier for years and years. You've been here 2.5 years at Pluckemin Inn.
Mm-hmm.
What'd you do prior to that?
Before coming here, I was at Restaurant Danielle in New York City. I started as a busser, was promoted to kitchen server or food runner, if you will, and then I left to go to a few different restaurants and then came back as sommelier. So I've been studying wine since I was 14 years old. It's just something I've been very passionate about.
As it turns out, not only is Sean an accomplished sommelier with a particular passion for champagne, but he also grew up as a music prodigy and is still a concert organist with a doctorate in music.
What was your epiphany wine?
It was while I was a busser at Restaurant Danielle, a 1961 Chateau Latour.
Let's just make this clear. They let the busser have a 1961 Latour.
Well, the sommelier let me have a taste of a bottle that he opened.
And it was that good.
It was that good.
You know, B and I were, she kind of botted me going through your wine list. I think I found some really, really good deals. You can come here, find some treasures, and still buy them at maybe just a little bit more than retail, and that's intentional, I assume.
We want to make the wine accessible here. So if you have a wine that you're particularly fond of that you can't find elsewhere, we might have it here, and it won't be outrageously expensive.
The restaurant building may look like it's been around for 100 years, but that's not the case at all. The Pluckemin Inn is a lifelong dream project of Carl LaGrassa, a successful New York businessman who developed an online trading system for NASDAQ. Among other things, he was a wine collector who had a vision of opening a fine dining restaurant with an accessible world-class wine list. So Brian, first of all, thank you so much for having us here. And tell us, you had a relationship with LaGrassa's prior to starting this restaurant.
Correct. Well, first, I met the LaGrasses many years ago. I was working at a restaurant nearby, and they were frequent guests. And we started going out, and then became more friendly. And started doing some holidays together, and we always stayed connected. So he decided to sell the company and wanted to do a great restaurant. You know, always enjoyed great food, great wines.
And Carl was a wine collector? as well?
Correct,
Yeah.
correct.
They basically decided to start a restaurant,
Yes.
and you were the person to help them.
Yeah, it's a dream come true. If someone says, "Look, we want to, build a restaurant, would you help us do it?" I found out this property was coming up for sale through a mutual friend. There was no signs up. It was kind of word of mouth that this place was for sale. It was a shot and beer tavern, as you can see, and like a real local dump. When we took the project over, we started running it before we got all the approvals. And I had worked there a few nights a week as a bartender, just because we kept it running.
Yeah.
For about 6 or 7 months, and I had to peel my clothes off at the end of the day because the smoke and it was disgusting.
But a great location.
Great location. So we started investigating like architects and planners, and there was a restaurant down in Princeton area done by the Johnson family, Seward Johnson. He was the famous sculptor. He did a beautiful restaurant called Rats. I said, whoever designed this restaurant did a fantastic job. And we found out who that designer was, and it was a group out of Philadelphia called DAS. And that's what they do. They specialize in restaurants. So we hired them, and then you have to get the zoning and everything.
The building looks like it's been around for maybe 100 years.
It was meant to.
So
Yeah.
it feels historic,
Right.
But it's a modern building.
Correct.
So do you want to talk to us about how the wine tower came about?
We saw the restaurants. There was one in Charleston. They had a whole wall. And some of the things, like I guess it was the one in Vegas where they had that glass tower. I think that's still open too. And Carl wanted to kind of do something like that. In hindsight, it's not a very effective floor plan with this tower right in the middle, but it is what it is. It is a stunning, focal point of the restaurant.
The wine cellar itself is built over 3 stories and is the centerpiece and focal point of the restaurant. It really is something different. We are now about to enter the tower. We are so excited. Let's do this.
Let's go.
It was hard to spot an empty slot in the wine racks. Every last slot seemed to be filled, and we were told there were about 10,000 bottles just inside the restaurant itself.
So in this room, this is the very base of the wine tower. That is between both our private rooms. We also have the cages with the higher end wines. We've got Kistler Chardonnay here. We've got 2014 Gevrey Chambertin here. It's literally where it's...
So it's kind of a crapshoot. Wherever you can fit in a wine is where it's going to go. And
Exactly.
It's not necessarily ordered by level of tower.
Exactly. It's wherever I can find a space, though I try to organize things by region.
Okay.
It's so hard to understand how much wine is in here because you said they're 3 deep, right? Everywhere. So how do you then keep track of it all?
Well, every bottle has a bin number, and we have bin tags, and I just count from there.
And what software do you use?
We use Cellar Tracker here.
Do you want to demonstrate to our viewers how these cabinets actually work?
Sure. In these cabinets, you'll see there's 3 deep, but they're 3 different wines, so only 1 wine per bin.
And I can feel the cold air coming out. It's just remarkable, right?
So here's a Brunello di Montalcino from 2016. And then behind that, we've got a Barbera d'Alba from 2015. And then behind that, we've got Caius Conspello 2012.
This makes me so nervous. One thing I do notice is that you will have Napa, you will have Spain, you will have Italy, you'll have France in the same cabinet.
Yeah. So wherever I can find a space, we put it in, and just because of the sheer size.
Is that a Vega Sicilia Unica?
Yes, it is.
1996?
Yes.
Wow, that might be worth a try out. We're going to make that decision a little bit later on. Even though it was clear that Sean could find any particular bottle within seconds, it all seemed a bit overwhelming and confusing to me. And it also left another big question. Where were the remaining 40,000 bottles? Talk to me about your retail operations, because that's even more extraordinary. We weren't allowed to go into your retail warehouse, but we understand, we got some pictures from the outside. There's another almost 50,000 bottles of wine in your
Correct.
retail operations?
Correct. I started selling, because this license is a package license, and you can sell in New Jersey retail goods.
So you can sell retail online?
Correct. And that's essentially what I've done with clients that I started here way back in the day, whether it was face-to-face at the table, knowing their likes and dislikes, and just communicating and saying, we can get this for you. And that goes right back to the value and if I can bring you a wine that you're looking for, I can give it to you the price that you're looking for, everybody wins. I have clients that have been buying from me probably 20 years.
Running the retail operation give you an advantage from a buying standpoint from being a restaurant?
Absolutely, 100%. Today, those are the allocations are still better for restaurants, and they always have been, but back in the day, it was very strong allocated wines to restaurants. They would not sell some wines to retail operations.
So because you have both retail and restaurants,
Correct.
you get access.
Correct.
You can both sell in volume, but you
Correct.
can also have access to some of the really highly allocated.
Correct.
B and I really wanted to peek inside of your retail operations and get some footage there, but there are signs outside that says
Correct.
specifically, cannot come in here, you're
Correct.
not allowed in here.
Correct.
So we unfortunately don't have any footage for our viewers from the
Sorry.
retail operations, but we now know that it's not because they're trying to keep us out, it's because of the New Jersey liquor laws. It now started to make sense. The incredibly successful retail operations gave the restaurant access to amazing producers and bottles that were sourced for clients all around the country. And there's a link to pluckywines.com in the video descriptions for viewers who want to check it out. I guess this is one of the private dining rooms, and I haven't actually been able to look at all the wines here, but they seem like they're pretty high end here.
These are very special reserve wines. Here's an example of one that I would like to showcase. This is Comte Liger Bel Air, La Romanée, 2006.
Out of curiosity, how much is that on your list?
I think this is around 7,000 or 8,000.
Yeah, I'd say that qualifies for a special occasion.
After talking shop for hours with Sean, Pop looked like he was ready to make a decision about what wines to have for dinner. He was definitely suffering from the kid in the candy store syndrome. How was he gonna make a choice? I was blown away by the collection at the Pluckemin Inn. So far, it had lived up to all my expectations, and I was ready to try some wine. I can't believe that we're here. B, Jeff, this is going to be so much fun. We have 4 incredible wines tonight. The 2016 Weingut Keller Kirchspiel Riesling Große Gewachs was right up my alley. A great nose of white peaches, pear, apple, and pineapple. Cheers, guys. This has got a great nose. Cheers. Cheers!
That is absolutely outstanding. Oh, this is going to be great with oysters. Wonderful fruit, but bone dry and mouth-watering acidity. This was really special. I gotta tell you, these oysters are absolutely phenomenal.
I don't get how there are people who don't like oysters because they're good.
I think people who don't like oysters because of the texture.
Yeah.
They just can't get over the fact that it's like live.
Wait, they're alive, right? I thought they were dead after they got shucked.
Well, I suppose, I don't know. I think they're kind of still live.
I mean, I still like them.
Well, that changes things, huh? Jacques Solis Substance. This was Sean's recommendation, and this champagne was unlike anything I'd ever had before.
I want to give you a taste first. It'll get even richer as it warms up, but I would love for you to try it.
Okay.
So this is Jacques Solis Substance.
Oh my gosh, that's good.
This is the epitome of the best grower champagne that you can find.
Very floral, very different. I get a little yeast.
Jacques Solis is known for more of an oxidative style, so there might be a little bit of like a white soy sauce type of thing going on.
That is unlike any champagne I have ever tasted in my entire life.
May I cheers you with this?
Oh my gosh.
Of course.
It was complex and rich, but it was the oxidative style that I just couldn't wrap my head around. Hey, cheers guys. This is so much fun. Hey, cheers everyone. Oh, this is really great. I don't think this is going to be great with scallops.
Oh, the scallops. Thank you so much.
Oh, this is going to go so well. I think they nail those scallops. I noticed they had a 1981 Lopez de Heredia Rioja Gran Reserva Viña Todonia on the list. I really wanted to try a 40-year-old Rioja. By the way, I've heard so many good things about this.
It's a legendary producer.
Yeah.
Very classic. Do you smell something on this?
Fortunately, the bottle was badly corked. So I think it might be corked.
I think you might be right.
Did we manage to get a corked wine?
Unfortunately, you did. It does happen. And unfortunately, when that happens, I'm not going to serve it.
I also want you to know that we have a curse on this channel.
Yeah, what's the deal?
This channel has... we are the most cursed wine channel there is out there. This is the big advantage of being in a restaurant. When you have somebody who's really an expert at wine, I mean, you won't get it served, right?
I'm not going to serve this.
Okay, we got a decision to make.
I do have the 2004 vintage of this.
Do we want to try that?
I would recommend trying that.
Okay, well, let's do it.
And if that's corked, I give up.
So we ended up trying a 2004 instead.
I decanted it because I felt it needed it.
Well, that's we might taste that 2 hours from now and say, oh, it finally opened up. But it turned out to be tight and, well, it seemed overly oaky at this stage of its development. Hey, cheers.
Cheers.
All right. Boy, I wish we had the 81 to compare it to.
Okay, should
It's
we
not,
try?
yeah.
Maybe let's try it with food.
Yeah, absolutely. Oh my gosh, this looks absolutely amazing. Oh, I love this. As a grand finale, I picked the 1998 Chateau Cheval Blanc. We are so being spoiled tonight.
I am.
98 was supposed to be a great year for Cheval Blanc, and Pluckemin Inn had the wine priced at what you'd expect to pay at retail. It really makes it fun to try exclusive wines when you feel like you're getting a really good deal.
Thank you.
Wow.
You're welcome.
I think this nose is just absolutely fantastic, but I'm trying to describe it. The wine performed as you would expect from a noble right bank chateau, and it will easily last another 20 to 30 years. Kudos to Sean and his team.
Oh, that's good.
What?
I like this
Jeez.
one.
What? Oh, hold on here. With a moment of truth.
I like that better than the Rioja.
Okay. Oh my God, that's a good French fry. Maybe one of the greatest French fries I've ever had in my life. I'm a big fan of McDonald's French fries.
Well, we try to put them to shame a bit.
What? I couldn't hear it because you had French fries in your mouth.
We also got the cowboy ribeye.
The cowboy ribeye.
Is the tandoori opening up? Or
I don't know. At this point, I'm more interested in how the French fries are eating.
Holy smokes, this cookie is good.
We're going to do a cheers together? Sean, Jay, thank you so much for putting on the most amazing day and evening. And to all of our viewers, cheers.
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 Salud.
Salud.
I know Sean was cringing because I went for my chocolate chip cookie and then I drank the German Riesling, but I had to do it for the video.
Cheers.
I mean, it's like the classic combination. Nothing better than no sugar whatsoever and all sugar.